This is a look at endpoint security spending in the mid-market, and I think there's just some graphics issues here, but what you'll see here is that ransomware is trending significantly, followed by phishing attacks, and there is a focus on endpoint security, and that first bar there shows endpoint security at something higher than 60%. This was a survey that was conducted directly with mid-market organizations. So it mirrors exactly what we got from solution providers that serve mid-market organizations. And we think that what is going on is that there is interest in modernizing the endpoint security solution, something that does a little more automation, endpoint detection, provides some better detection, and ultimately something different, because organizations are just hit with some kind of ransomware or some kind of infection multiple times, and they were able to free up funds to take a look at what is out and available on the market. Email, again, very high, not as high as endpoint security, and email messaging security. Organizations, are taking a look at messaging security even after security solutions are, or even after their email is being migrated over to solutions like Office 365. They find within a year or two that they maybe need to take a look at additional layer of security that to reduce spam, to address the issue of malicious file attachments. This is based on what organizations are looking for and in a modern endpoint security solution. And I think there is no surprise here. They're looking for something that is lightweight. They don't want a performance impact disrupting end-user business processes. They are also looking for solutions that can not only detect the day-to-day kinds of attacks that they get, but also provide the advanced threat detection capability to prevent ransomware, block it from even executing in the first place. Very difficult to do. It can result in increased false positives. We've seen that with some solutions and some modern solutions. But definitely worth a look on the market. And I wanted to mention the 4 disciplines here. My time is running short. This is the way organizations really should look at their security program in a proactive way and as systematic. Take that assessment first before you go shopping, please, and understand what your requirements are and what exactly you're trying to protect. The first, these are called the 4 disciplines, right? And the first is vulnerability management. Getting an understanding of the high-risk areas within the organization, knowing where your vulnerabilities are, what the risk profile of vulnerabilities are, very important. Followed by identity management. And identity management is rising significantly, mainly because it's because of a lot of the migration activity to SaaS services and the need to extend identity policy for what has been on-premises servers to solutions that come from third parties and not necessarily services that are from at multiple locations. So it makes identity management a little more complex. It's really rising in terms of interest and adoption of new modern identity management solutions. Trust management, very important with regards to establishing, modernizing your security policies, communicating them effectively, and ensuring that you have the right controls in place to enforce those policies. And then finally, threat management. And this is something that I think a lot of organizations, especially if you're a mid-market organization, you may be relying on a solution provider, a managed service provider to help you with. because it's no longer about monitoring activities just to meet a compliance mandate. Now it's actually proactive monitoring to identify that brute force attack that I mentioned in the data breach example. Very significant, very serious. Something that organizations, I think it shows that organizations can no longer really set it and forget it with regards to security components.